Welcome back. So, as Ned Flanders once said, "Mercies for the weak, Todd." So, this board here, these games not in the no mercy category, but there's some bloodshed on the second board, so might want to put a parental warning on it. So we'll start things off talking about Ottawa and Pittsburgh. So how about Dylan Ferguson? I remember when Dylan Ferguson was called up on an emergency basis by the Vegas Golden Knights during the first year. He was their last goaltender. He was it, and I remember him going in. I remember him playing relatively well considering his level of experience and the fact that he really shouldn't have been in there. And so here he is starting for the Ottawa Senators, who are down to, what, their fifth, sixth goaltender? This has been a weird year for goaltenders, hasn't it? It feels like there's a lot of teams that have had to delve into the goaltending depth beyond what normal teams have to. So, it's Ferguson versus Jarry. So at the start of this, the Pens probably salivating, thinking, well, great. We got brand new goalie in net. Jarry, who's had his struggles lately, we got this. So the Sens press at 2 minutes. Jarry holds with Tkachuk on the doorstep. The shots are 2-1 for Ottawa, 3 minutes in. Gensel has a rush chance that's kicked aside. Granlund has a net feed, that's picked off. Heinen then had a chance that was saved as Ottawa gave the puck back. Ferguson holds as the Penguins press. Pens then get a power play. Raquel has a tip shot that's held. The Penguins cycle. Gensel's denied. That power play's killed off. Penguins have some momentum. There's a near miss on a rush on a fast break. And then the shots get up to the point of 12-3 in favor of Pittsburgh with 8.5 minutes left. Post for Batherson then on a rush. Penguins press with 5.5 minutes left. And Ferguson, without his stick's in the corner of the build or corner of the arena. And yeah, he makes saves anyways. And then it's Shabbat. Yeah, Ottawa scores first at 16:46 from Giroux and Gregg. Paling then fires one wide on a rush. The Penguins press with 2.5 minutes left, so they pick up where they left off. They pressure. Puck nearly bounces in off Sanderson, but it's saved. So it's 1-0 Ottawa after one. Second period. Early jump for the Senators. The Penguins press. They're kept to the outside. Too many Sens on the ice, so the Pens with the power play. Aggressive penalty kill, and the fans start getting restless. I was actually minorly surprised we didn't get a Fire Hextall chant tonight. Killed off, the Sens press after. Stützle had a blast that's held. Carter has a tip shot that's saved. The Senators clear it out. Stützle fires one high on a 2-on-1. Tkachuk's denied on a break. O'Connor has a rush chance that's held. There's a post for Stützle on a rush chance that he had. Shots are 9-5 for the Penguins with 9 minutes left, so they are outplaying Ottawa, but they're behind. Granlund has a one-timer that's saved. Heinen's then denied as the Penguins press. Raquel fires one wide. Sens are pinned down. Penguins cycle. There was a 3+ minute shift for Zub. I think it was Sanderson that was out there with him. He was out there for a while too. Penguins press more. Zub ends up clearing it 4 minutes into his shift. So over a 4-minute shift there for him. And then the Sens clear it because that 4-minute shift he actually aced the puck. And he was gassed. So it has to be frustrating. 4 minutes and you're like, all right, we cleared it good. I aced it. I'm sorry, guys. So, Penguins press some more, but 3:07 left. The Ottawa Senators end up getting themselves a power play. So that power play is killed off. The Penguins press in the final minute. It's still 1-0 Ottawa after one. Second period. Early jump for the Penguins. Again, Fadoon has a shot deflect high. Zucker's denied and close. That's cleared out. Gensel is the next one to be denied. Granlund's robbed. That's the Penguins' 40th shot on net. To this point, the Sens have 14. Reminder, Pittsburgh's behind 1-0. O'Connor has a fast break. That's defended clean. That's the important part. No penalty taken there. Plenty of near misses for the Penguins. The Penguins press at the half. We get a power play for Pittsburgh. They cycle. It's cleared out. Raquel has a shot that's blocked. That's killed off. Penguins had momentum. They're up to 44 shots. And then I think it was the 45th that goes in. 14:39. It was a lot. Raquel scores this one from Malkin and Joseph. He buries it from the slot. So the Penguins then push for the lead. And I kind of felt bad for Ferguson at this point, thinking, well, the Penguins have been the better team. They deserve the win, but it'd be great to see the kid gets his first win and his first NHL start. Well, with 3:05 left, the Sens get a power play. DeBrink gets denied. Jarry holds. But then it's a good cycle, and Batherson scores on the power play from Sanderson and Tkachuk at 17:51. Really quiets that crowd. Buried that one in close. I can't put that one on Jarry. Just can't. The goalie pull takes place immediately on a face-off win. Here's where I was baffled. So I see Pittsburgh fans leaving with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, like heading up. Okay, so I understand that they're losing, but they're only down 1. There's still about 1.5 minutes left. They've pulled the goalie, and it's Ottawa. There's that chance, right? So I thought that was weird, and I had to put that on the board because I was like, wait, what? You don't leave with 1 minute and 20 seconds left in a 1-goal game. So then with 35.7 seconds left, the Penguins get a power play. The Senators end up icing it with 2.7 seconds left. There's just not enough time to generate a really good chance. I know what the Kings did. I know how much time they had. That was years ago now. So the shots on the final score is 2-1. We'll get to the shots. Final score is 2-1. For Ottawa, they're now 34, 31, and 5. So they're very faint playoff hopes are still there. For Pittsburgh, 34, 26, and 10. They are now below the playoff line. They are no longer above it. So the shots on net, 18-7 Pittsburgh in the first, 16-4 Pittsburgh in the second, 16-8 Pittsburgh in the third. The final shots were 48-21 for the Pens. Power plays, Ottawa 1 for 2, Pittsburgh 0 for 3. The shots, 36-29 Ottawa. Ferguson, 47 saves on 48 shots. Jari saves 19 out of 21. And this is why strength of schedule you have to take with a grain of salt. Coming into today, most people would have taken Pittsburgh to win it, and they don't. All right, next up. Florida and Detroit. So, and I want to say too, I would have had these games reviewed and on the channel on their own, but San Jose went to overtime, and of course, that's what they do, so I didn't have the time. All right, so Bobrovsky versus Husso. This is 13 starts in a row for Bobrovsky. So basically, while Spencer Knight's been in the player assistance program, and he's getting close to coming back apparently, it's been Bobrovsky's net. And it's showing that once again, we do tend to have goaltenders take a spell where, you know, it's 3 games of 4 nights, we don't want to play him too much. Bobrovsky seems to thrive with extra attention, and at the very least tonight, Florida did a good job also of protecting Bobrovsky. Not a ton of great chances against him. So Wallman fires one wide as the wing gets some early zone time. Chase on, can't bury one in close. Bobrovsky holds there. A stretch pass to Wallman, near miss on that one. Forsling defends a rush for Suter. Duclair then at a net feed, that was blocked. Bergeron passes, should have shot on a play there. But Jonathan Bergeron, it makes sense. He's a young kid, and he needs to build that confidence. And then on their first shot on net, Florida scores. It's Tkachuk from Bennett at 7:28. Feels like that's happened to Detroit a few times lately. Panthers then press for another. The shots are 2 apiece halfway through. So not a lot hitting the net. But when another one hits net for Florida, it goes in. It's Verhaeghe from Tkachuk and Bennett at 12:28. Goes off Bennett's leg and in. They don't ask how, just how many. 5th shot. And then there's a goalie interference challenge during that one. And that's a good goal. So the Panthers get the power play. That's killed off. And then Suter scores at 14:38, right with Perron out of the box. So Perron was in for the delay game call. He comes out. And Perron ends up being the primary assist guy, and the secondary assist to Wallman at 14:37. So that worked out pretty well. They kill off the penalty for the goalie interference challenge, and then they get the goal back. So it's 2-1. Panthers look to answer. Tkachuk gets kind of shovey at the horn towards Edvinsson. Edvinsson's just, he's a big kid. He's big. And I don't know how else to put it. You know, his family in attendance and all that. He's an impressive player. I think he's going to be hard for teams to handle next season. So second period, with Florida already leading 2-1. There's an early chance for Wallman kicked aside. Tkachuk has a net feed. That's picked off. Pressed by the Panthers at 4 minutes. Osterley and Raymond were then denied in close by Bobrovsky. Zadina has a blast that's saved as the Wings press. The shots are 4-3 for Detroit 6 minutes in. The Wings press at 7.5 minutes. Larkin to Suter, that's picked off. Verhaeghe has a rush chance that's blocked. And then Forsling buries one top corner from the point. Reinhart and Barkov with the assist at 11:33. With that assist, Sasha Barkov officially passes Jonathan Huberdeau. He is now the all-time leading scorer among the Florida Panthers. We get a power play for Detroit, Zadina fires one wide as it ends. The Panthers then rush the other way. Kubalik's denied in close. We get a post for Zarnik on a turnover. Things get punchy at the horn due to a late shot by the Panthers. So they take a shot after the horn, and so that brings a crowd. So that's 2 periods in a row where we get some shoving and some, hey, what are you doing? So third period, the Wings press at 1.5 minutes. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 shortly after that. Panthers press 3 minutes in. The shots are only one apiece, though, 4 minutes in. Florida's up by 2. They're just looking to bring this one home. Osterley tips a shot wide. Eric Stahl to Cousins is deflected away, and then Larkin at 7:53 gets this game closer from Raymond and Kopp, and that's during a delayed penalty on Florida. So that one's buried from the side of the net, makes it 3-2. Bergeron then fires one high on a rush. Ernie fell on Gudas. It was kind of one of those incidents that just, it happens in game. No intent by Ernie to hurt him, but that was kind of one of those things where it looked like Gudas landed on his shoulder. Wings press with 6 minutes left, but at 16:08, Eric Stahl, he scores from Duclair. He wires it. It was a 2-on-0 off a turnover. So not a great play there. That makes it 4-2. Goalie pull takes place with 3:10 left. With 2:42 left, though, the Panthers get a power play, and they score on it. It's Verhaeghe from Luostarinen and Tkachuk at 18:37. Wires that one top corner. Makes your score 5-2. That is the final. Florida goes to 36. 27-7 with the win. They pull 1 point ahead of Pittsburgh. With the loss, Detroit 30-9. Shots on net, 9-4 Florida in the first, 12-10 Detroit in the second. Both teams had 6 shots in the third. Final shots, 25-22 for Florida. Power plays, the Panthers 1 for 2. Detroit 0 for 1. The hits, 21-19 Detroit. Bobrovsky saves 20 out of 22. Husso saved 20 out of 25. That being said, I need to change boards. All right, and now we get into the no mercy part of things, so maybe shield children's eyes from this. So first, it's Colorado against Chicago. It's Stalock versus Georgiev. There was some good early back and forth, but on their second shot, Colorado scores. It's McDermott. Yep, Curtis McDermott from Hunt and Nieto at 2:41. But the shots on net are 5-2 for Chicago, 3.5 minutes in. The Avs, though, they press at 5 minutes. McKinnon's denied on a net drive. McKinnon to Rantanen chance, that's blocked. Comfort can't bury one in close. There's a net feed to Rantanen, that's picked off, and then Athanasiou has a net drive that's broken up. So after the first period, it's 1-0 for Colorado. Pretty evenly played period. Second period starts. We get a power play for the Hawks. Tkachuk has a blast that's saved and cleared. Hardman's denied as it ends. The Avs then press 5 minutes in, same as they did in the first. O'Connor fires one wide, that's cleared out, but Malgin, it's a give and go. It's a 3-on-2, and he wires it. And it's the first shot on net for Colorado in the period. It's Malgin from Nichushkin at 6:17. Then there's a near miss for Tenorti on a rush. We get a power play for Chicago. The Avs don't let them set up. They kill that off. And then soon after that, they get a power play of their own, and they score on it. It's Rantanen with his 47th from Compher and Byram at 10:54. So Rantanen basically a shoe-in for 50 goals at this point. That's his 47th. So it was a good cycle. Posting in makes it 3-0. Newhook's denied and close. We have some momentum. This is also when I updated the records and put the records on the board. Started cleaning up that part of the preview board for tomorrow because I knew Chicago was not scoring 4. So Cogliano has a rush chance saved. Anderson fires one high on a rush for Chicago. The Hawks press with 4.5 minutes left. Eller had a turnover chance that's saved, but it's 3-0 in favor of Colorado after 2. Third period, the shots are 3-1 Avs at 4.5 minutes, so there really wasn't any doubt. I mean, you can't say the Hawks gave up. The Hawks have a pretty rough record as it is, but yeah. The Avs press 6 minutes in. Newhook's denied and close. The shots are 8-2 for the Avs, 8.5 minutes in. McKinnon fires one high on a rush, and then O'Connor scores from Malgin and Girard at 13:33. Dennis Malgin's getting points all of a sudden, and then he gets another goal. He scores at 13:47, so 14 seconds later from McKinnon and Rantanen. And then Cogliano's denied. It's all Avs. Now, in the last minute of this game, I understand that referees want the game to be over, but if you've got one guy horse collaring a guy and you've got like punches being thrown, I don't know, maybe blow the whistle. Just throwing that out there. It was kind of ridiculous. I was kind of concerned, like, so is there going to be a brawl at the Horn? There wasn't, but yeah, it was kind of weird because there was a lot of penalties. So your final score in this one's 5-0. So it should be rare, but right now it's not. You get the Tony the Tiger magnet for the shutout, and you get the Cobra Kai No Mercy magnet for the fact that it was 5-0. Colorado goes to 41-22-6. For Chicago, 24-40-6. So Chicago, the rough season continues. Shots on net, 11-10 Colorado in the first, 12-7 Chicago in the second, and then 14-5 Colorado in the third. Final shots, 32-27 for the Avs. Power play, Chicago 0-2. Colorado scored on the only one they had. Hits were 22-14 for Chicago. Stalock, 27 saves on 32 shots. Georgiev saves all 27 shots for his 13th career shutout. That's impressive. All right, next up. Edmonton and San Jose. So, again, you know, the Sharks could have won this. I don't know how Sharks fans are going to feel when a team that finishes one spot behind the Sharks, whether they finish 30th or 29th or whatever, wins that draft lottery. I just, and it's going to be because they have these overtime and shootout loss points. They now tie Calgary for the lead in the league. It's a race nobody's paying attention to. So it's Reimer versus Campbell in this one. There's an early Sharks goal, offside challenge. So yeah, that comes off the board. Jack Campbell had his butt saved tonight by goals that happened to be no good. Post for Gregor. There's a power play for the Sharks. That's killed off. The fans call one. The ref doesn't. Sharks are leading in shots 4-3 at 5 minutes. And at 5:48, Barabanov buries a rush on and gets that 1-0 lead. It was a rebound. Hurdle had the shot that got that rebound for Barabanov, and Vlasic with the secondary assist. Oilers look to answer, and they would. 7:08, it's Bugstad from Fogle and Janmark. Tic-tac-toe. Buries it from the back door. So, nice goal to tie it. We get a power play for the Oilers. The Oilers score. But goalie interference challenge. And yes, if the player that contacts the goalie is inside the crease, and if they're in there on their own free volition, usually that'll get called back. If the goalie's outside the crease, very often those ones will score. So that's no goal. 3:51 left. The Sharks get a power play. There's a shorthanded 2-on-1. Draisaitl's denied. And then there's a post for Matt Benning as it comes to an end. So it's 1-1 after 1. Second period. 30 seconds in. Strong forecheck leads to this one. Yamamoto scores from Nugent Hopkins and McDavid. So strong play there puts the Oilers up 2-1. The Oilers look for another. Nurse fires one wide as the Oilers press. Fogle has a chance that's held. The Sharks score. Goalie interference challenge. Guess what? That goal comes off the board too. Now that one I won't put on Campbell because it's goalie interference. So there you go. But yeah, that's 2 so far that had the Sharks. There were goals for the Sharks that didn't count. The shots are 5-3 for the Oilers. It's 7.5 minutes. Easy for me to say, but San Jose would tie it. It's Lawrence from Agazino and Benning at 8:32. He bats a rebound out of the air. So nicely played. Ref is told that he sucks for a non-call, and while that's going on, Erik Karlsson gets one. He scores from Zetterlund and Couture at 10:23. However, Ekholm, who has been a beast on a net drive, he scores from Draisaitl and Bouchard at 11:48. It's nice to see now that people are catching up with me on how good Ekholm is. He's been excellent for a long time. But Karlsson would answer. He scores from Barabanov at 14:23, buries a one-timer. So after the second period, the score is 4-3 for San Jose. But it's San Jose. Third period, near miss by McDavid on a fast break. The Oilers press at 3.5 minutes, and the Sharks score. But, wait a minute, it's an offside challenge. It is barely offside, but it's offside. Doesn't matter if it's barely, doesn't matter if it's only 6 inches or a foot, whatever it is. But it's no goal. Kane's then denied. The Oilers get a power play. There's a post for Hyman. That's cleared out. It's killed off. Shots are 6-3 Oilers at the half. Ceci prevents a Sharks goal, so there's another one that would have gone in. But Cody Ceci gets it out of there. And then Ekholm, another goal for him. He gets it from McDavid and Draisaitl at 16:13. It's bar down. Then with 1:41 left, the Oilers get a power play. They don't score on that. We end up going to overtime. The Oilers controlled early, but it is killed off, the rest of that power play. Reimer then holds a Bugstad chance. Barabanov has a shot that deflects out. And at 4:45, just as I'm ready for a shootout, Nurse scores from Yamamoto and Nugent Hopkins. Buries that one on a fast break of his own. And so the Oilers survive a bit of a scare tonight. They win 5-4 in overtime. They go to 40-23-8. San Jose 19-37-15. They are not getting that 20th win this year. They've just decided. Shots on net 13-11 San Jose in the first, 17-8 Edmonton in the second, 15-8 Edmonton in the third, and 9-3 in the overtime in favor of Edmonton. 9. So San Jose really didn't want that extra point. Final shots, well, I mean, Edmonton's far more motivated, right? Shots on net 52-32 for Edmonton. Power plays, San Jose 0-2, Edmonton 0-3. And the hits 31-23 San Jose. Reimer saved 47 out of 52. He was fantastic. Campbell, leaky. 28 saves on 32 shots. Again, 2 of those goals that were taken back were for offsides. Campbell kind of gets bailed out by that. And based on this result, A, you get the win, but B, I think Skinner starts the next game and is going to start a lot. I think unless it's back-to-backs, I think it's going to be Skinner's net from here. So, at any rate, we'll see. But that's my guess. All right, last game of the night. Wow. So I wore this Kings jersey because it's kind of ugly. And this game ended up being kind of ugly, and I thought, it works. I thought about wearing Florida. I'm pretty sure I've worn Florida very recently, though, for recap video. And this was just an impressive destruction of the Calgary Flames. So it's Markstrom versus Copley. Things get punchy on a hold by Markstrom. Shots are 2-1 Calgary 5 minutes in. Velarde has a chance that's saved and held, but then Grundstrom puts it around Markstrom. It's easy. You just put it around the goalie. I love it when guys make it look easy like that. Kupari and McEwen with the assists at 8:15. Flames press for a response. It's not going to happen. Doughty gets a goal. Now, it did look like it went in off Kopitar, so this goal may have changed to Kopitar by now. It may change tomorrow morning or later tonight. But right now, or at least the last time I checked, it said Doughty from Byfield and Kopitar at 11:16. It was a great play by Byfield to set it up anyways. So really strong forechecking and through a screen. So that makes it 2-0. And then at 12:13, Velarde scores from Iafallo and Lizotte. So Velarde is heated up yet again. They press for another. They would end up drawing themselves a power play, and they score on it. It's Arvidsson from Kempe and Kopitar at 15:46. That'd be Arvidsson's 20th, correct? Kings press for another with 1:30 left. The Flames had 3 shots on net. With 105 left, I should say, they get a power play. They don't get a shot during that final 105. So we go to the second period, and clearly something must have been said or something clicked for Calgary in between periods, because 34 seconds in during that power play, Toffoli scores from Lindholm and Backlund. So that makes it 4-1, and then the Flames go back to the power play. So this is where, are they going to get back into it? Kind of enters your mind. They cycle, Mangiapane's denied, Walker clears it out, power play's killed off, 2 shots. Flames press after it ends. There's a press by the Kings at 5.5 minutes. Kopitar fans on what was a really prime chance in front of the net. And then Kempe doesn't. He scores on a breakaway from Edler and Walker at 8:16. Great pass by Edler to set that up. Anderson then breaks up a 2-on-1. And then Kempe scores from Byfield and Doughty at 12:44. So that's 2 assists for Byfield, both of them primaries. Kings then get a power play. It becomes a 5-on-3. And then it would have been the full 2 minutes, but it becomes a 4-on-4. Or no, that's not the full 2 minutes. The full 2 minutes was in the third. Silly hockey guy. Entertainment guy's paying for this. So yeah, it becomes a 5-on-3. Then it becomes a 4-on-4. And it's a penalty parade. So to enter the third period, we have 26 seconds left in a Flames power play. The Kings finish the kill. Vladar's in net now. Not that it really matters. You know, Markstrom's had a rough year. I would not put tonight on Markstrom. This is not one of those games where I put it on Markstrom. It didn't matter who was in net. The interesting thing, of course, is they play tomorrow night in Anaheim, and the speculation is who's going to start. Well, A, it's Anaheim, so that's going to be better for them. But B, I don't know that it matters right now with the way the defense is playing for Calgary. And I have to say, too, Sportsnet, they were talking about what the best defense core was in the NHL amongst the Canadian teams, and they mentioned Winnipeg, and they mentioned Calgary. I'm not sure why Edmonton wasn't mentioned with the addition of Ekholm, and I don't know why Toronto wasn't mentioned. For all of the slings and arrows that Toronto takes, their defense has been very good this year. Anyways, off the soapbox, back to the recap. Gavrikov has a blast that's held. Lindholm had a rush chance that's defended. The Kings press at 8.5 minutes. Huberdeau has a shot that's saved and held. And then Hannafin would score, and I thought, okay, I'm not getting the no mercy magnet now, right? Because I made it 6-2. Coleman and Huberdeau with the assists at 9:01. Velarde then gets shaken up on a hit by Weegar into the boards. I'm pretty sure he got up and skated off. Hopefully he's perfectly fine. Things get scrummy with 8:55 left, and really undisciplined play by Calgary leads to 2 minutes of a 5-on-3. 33 seconds later, that becomes a 4-on-3 because you got to watch what you're doing while you have that 5-on-3. But on that 4-on-3 power play, Anderson scores from Deno and Arvidsson at 12:31. And then, after everything's killed off there, we get back to 5-on-5. Grundstrom on a 2-on-1 buries it top shelf. The assist for Kupari and Anderson at 15:51. A lot of LA Kings put up a lot of points tonight. Your final score is 8-2 for the Kings. They go to 41-20-10 on the season. Calgary 31-25-15 with the loss. The shots on net 14-3 LA in the first, 12-9 LA in the second, 14-5 LA in the third. For a game that Calgary had to win, they get outshot 40-17. Power plays, Calgary 1 for 4, LA 2 for 5. The hits 30-23 for Calgary. Markstrom saved 20 out of 26. Vladar saved 12 out of 14. Copley saved 15 out of 17. Wasn't very busy. So over here you'll see the Jets logo with the happy face because right now the Winnipeg Jets are big winners in the West, because both Nashville and Calgary are playing like they don't have any interest in that final playoff spot. And it's too bad, because I want to see, like, you know, teams fighting it out. I will say, too, though, Sportsnet also said, like, oh, the East is, I think it was David Amber said that the race in the East has been kind of slow, hinted as kind of a turtle derby. No, the one in the East is not a turtle derby. The one in the West is. And turtle derby is a term that was thrown around a lot in Vancouver back in, I think it was 1990, when it was Vancouver and Winnipeg. Neither of them seemed to want that fourth spot in Smythe. Vancouver eventually got it because, I guess, it was the last game of the year. But, yeah, it was called the turtle derby because neither team wanted it. And that's what this is reminding me of in the West. That's not what's happening in the East. Not at all. At any rate, let me know your thoughts. Who wins the turtle derby, and why is it going to be Winnipeg? Because Calgary and Nashville don't seem to have, either they don't have the horses to win it, or they don't have that drive to end up in the playoffs. But let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.